Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the YouTube channel for Peacefully Wired. My name is Matt, aka Peacefully Wired, and I wanted to talk in this video about how OCD lies dormant. And a lot of people have the misconception that OCD goes away and comes back, and it goes away and comes back, and it can actually seem like that, but reality is it's a brain disorder that never really goes away unless you learn how to dispute and change your beliefs and develop a deep level of unconditional self-life and other acceptance. Before I go any further, please like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you know about this, or let me know what you think about this content. Uh, has it helped you? What kind of content would you like to see? And also, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, I am a coach. You can please email me, support@peacefullywired.com, and I will show you what working with me would be like. Okay, so OCD lies dormant, and I have clients, students currently that have told me, Matt, I had this. I started having all these thoughts, and then I just pushed through them, and I just kept myself busy, and I worked and worked and worked, and they just OCD just went away, and then it came back, and I just did the same thing again, and then it came back, and I was the same way before I even knew what OCD was. Right, I struggled with ROCD and HOCD at different points in my life. Always ROCD, but I just thought it was just normal relationship stuff. Like I was always looking for the right relationship. Always I had really rigid beliefs about what a partner is supposed to be like, what the life with them is supposed to be like, what they look like, how they behave, how I'm supposed to feel around them, all sorts of things. Never knew that was relationship OCD, and I had HOCD the whole time. I just thought I was questioning whether I was gay or not, because you hear, as younger people, a lot of people in their lives will question their sexuality for a brief period of time. So I always thought that was just normal, but it did follow me through my life. So I always had relationship OCD every relationship I got in, whether it was concerned about them cheating on me, I'm not good enough for them, all those intrusive thoughts and stuff that goes with that, anxiety that goes with that, and then on the other side of that, wondering if they're the right one for me, and having all sorts of intrusive thoughts and anxiety around that kind of a perspective, and then in relationships, with women, I did have some HOCD stuff, and even and without having relationships, but I didn't know what it was. But it would come and go, right? I used to self-medicate a lot. I chalk up a lot of it coming and going to that, but that is in fact a distraction. So even through that, I still had those issues going on, and before I even knew what it was, like I would look back right now. If I didn't have the knowledge about what OCD does and that it lies dormant, I would have thought the same thing. Oh yeah, OCD came and then it went away, and then it came and then it went away, and ultimately it never goes away. It just lies dormant until you actually start to learn what your irrational beliefs are about certain things, relationships, your sexuality, harm, whatever it might be. Right? When you start to understand that it's about those beliefs and that you hold these beliefs really rigid, really black and white, and you can get a lot of fear from those because OCD will hold you to those beliefs, and basically it wants to keep you safe from the belief with the belief system that you have created. If you've created this belief system, if you've created these beliefs around relationships, and then you are in a relationship where this person doesn't fit this criteria, right? Whether it be by their actions, whatever checklist you have, and it's not following that, right? You just noticed one day, oh, I looked at her picture and I don't feel the same way that I felt 2 weeks ago when I looked at her picture. Something's wrong, right? And OCD wants to keep you to that, because usually what you'll do is you'll hone in on that, right? Like I remember when I was 19, 20 years old, I had a girlfriend, and I remember when we first started getting together, there was a picture of her that I had, really enjoyed looking at it. And then I remember waking up one morning and out loud telling myself how happy I was. I had this great girlfriend, and OCD hit me with an intrusive thought like, you don't really like this girl. She's not pretty enough for you. You don't, all this kind of stuff. And then I started remembering, like, I would look at her picture, that same picture, and be like, oh, I don't feel anything. And I would try to feel something, and then it got really out of hand. So that's what can happen. We have this little checklist, and when stuff doesn't start meeting that checklist, right, then OCD will give us more of these thoughts, images, urges, sensations, whatever scenarios it is, to show us that this thing is actually not lining up with what our beliefs are. And because it's not lining up with what our beliefs are, that we need to now we need to keep ourselves safe. Now we need to start doing compulsions. Well, that's when I started proving to myself that I did like, this girl. I tried to spend even more time with her. I tried to be around her more. I tried to feel connected more. I tried to compare her to other girls to make sure that I liked her more than I liked other girls. Like it was exhausting, and that was the early stages of having OCD when I didn't really know what it was. But that's essentially how it's working. And so, this idea that it goes away. I had somebody recently contact me on my TikTok page, and they direct messaged me and said, hey, I really need help right now. I need help. I'm a young boy. I'm starting to have intrusive thoughts about being gay. I'm having dreams where I want to perform oral on men or boys or whatever. And I remember, I don't think I responded to them right away. I sent them a response yesterday. Oh, you know what? I've managed to move away from these thoughts. And the time frame is like a week or two, maybe. Even if it was a month, it doesn't matter. Like, this is someone who doesn't know that OCD lies dormant. Like, yes, you can distract yourself. You can do a lot of reassurance, right? Especially early on when OCD is not chronic. You can do a lot of reassurance to like get yourself to believe. You can do compulsions and get yourself to believe. Like when I used to do compulsions, and I would do a compulsion, I remember, specifically my favorite thing was to sit on the toilet and do a compulsion. I'd go in the bathroom because it was away from distractions. I could sit there, do a bunch of compulsions, convince myself I got that right answer. Okay, I'm not gay. And I would get up, and I can remember that compulsion, those would last for long periods of time, right? And then it would come back, and I would have to do that over again until it latched on so hard that I couldn't do compulsions anymore to get any kind of relief. The relief was like that, and then a thought would come right back in, a new one, whatever. And so it never lies dormant. It's really important to know that if you don't change your beliefs and you don't develop acceptance, that OCD will keep coming back, and it just is always there. It's just waiting. Like, that's why when I see all the content that I see out there of people that think that they're just going to tell themselves they don't give a fuck, right? Oh, this is how I beat OCD. I just tell myself I don't give a fuck. Well, that's not going to work over a long period of time because you're not changing anything. So you'll effectively probably be doing that for the rest of your life, with a lot of ups and downs and spirals where you're going long periods of time where you're struggling, right? Like I said, I have students that come into me and say, yeah, it was here and then it went away. And it's like, dude, look, it never goes away. The only way to get it to back way down and disarm it is if you change your beliefs about these things that you have a lot of fear around, and you hold really black and white. And then you develop unconditional acceptance for yourself, life, and other people. That is the way that you recover from OCD. And you have a lot of people out there that are having these dormant times, and they think they're recovered. I was one of them. Okay, thought I recovered from having HOCD. Now, I only thought OCD was one thing, right? I thought I had HOCD and that's it. A lot of people think that too. No, I only have this one thing. I've had students tell me the same thing. No, I think it's just this. No, it's not. If you have OCD on a chronic level, it's everywhere in your life. It's in all different, everything. The more I talk to my students, I uncover harm, health. And the thing is that there's a lot of information out there on social media, so you can see a lot of different things, and people are starting to recognize there are these other facets. But it's not just that harm, it's not just health, it's everything. You have it in all parts of your life. So you probably have OCD, and you have beliefs that are held rigid in many different parts of your life. Some places you don't have rigidity, and it never latches because you don't have belief systems there, but in other places it does. So it's when I thought that, oh, I just had HOCD. I got over that. I'm good, right? Meanwhile, I was doing all sorts of avoidance. I was doing all sorts of reassurance compulsions, constantly asking people for reassurance, constantly asking my wife for reassurance, doing all sorts of subtle compulsions that I had no idea had anything to do with OCD. And then it tried to latch on again with HOCD. I wouldn't allow it to, and then it latched on to my relationship when I wasn't conscious of what was going on, I started doing a lot of compulsions, a lot of reassurance, more and more and more. And then it just effectively, I can remember the moment it latched on. I was actually visiting Arizona at the time. I almost had a panic attack. Started doing all of the things that I had learned how to do for surface level, the surface level therapies, right? Like started doing some deep breathing, started grounding myself, right? Pulling myself out of a panic attack instead of now doing what I know I would have needed to do, which is just let myself have that panic attack and let it go wherever it needed to go. Because effectively doing those things to try to calm myself down, my baseline at that point went from peace to high, right? It went right back to where it was 3 years earlier. And again, this is because I didn't know OCD was a belief disorder. I had no idea about changing your beliefs. And obviously I had a lot of beliefs that were very rigid about relationships. And then those came out at that time. And so, and now here's the thing, I could have gotten over relationship OCD, but then if I wouldn't have had the knowledge that it's in all my belief systems, I wouldn't have been able to figure out, oh, I actually have health stuff. I have a little bit of harm stuff. I have a little bit of body dysmorphia stuff, right? So all of those things, I would not have been able to identify, okay, these are beliefs I have to change in these other areas of my life. I have to stop doing subtle health compulsions like Googling things and asking about certain pains I'm having in my body, right? If I didn't know that, I would never have been able to start to change those beliefs. So OCD would have kept coming back and lying dormant during these times when I thought that I had beaten it, right? So it's so important to understand it does not lie dormant, or it lies dormant. It never goes away unless you learn how to change your beliefs and you start figuring out and pinpointing where you have irrational, rigid beliefs in your life, and you start breaking those down, disputing them, and making them more flexible. And then also, while you're doing that, you're developing unconditional self-life and other acceptance. If you don't do those things, you will not recover from OCD, and you will continue this up and down journey of reassurance, which is all of what the basic therapy and surface level therapy for OCD out there is. It's mostly rooted in reassurance, telling you that thoughts are ego dystonic, telling yourself to remind yourself of your values, saying, oh, thank you, OCD, for reminding me that I love my partner every time it gives you a negative, intrusive thought about your partner, singing to OCD, calling it a monster, doing all these things effectively are not going to get you robust recovery. And that's why people think, oh, it came back. Hey, I did this. I just told myself thoughts are just thoughts. And that's why people get into these places where you see and they're like, oh, I beat OCD. I'm recovered. I did this thing. And I can just listen to them and go, no, you're not. And there's going to be a time when we're not going to see you on social media anymore making content because you're going to have a major relapse. Okay. So, and I don't want that to happen to anybody. And that's why I'm here doing this. Okay. So, school platform we are launching. Okay. If you are interested in being a part of that, please message me, send me your email. I will put you on the list. One-on-one coaching, support at peacefullywired.com. Okay. These just started. So my website is peacefullywired.com. You can book a session with me there. You can email me, support at peacefullywired.com. And let's work together, okay? If you're struggling with OCD and you're just now figuring out that OCD doesn't go away, it lies dormant, and this is something you've never heard before, and you want to get to be able to a place where you're not OCD free, but you are free from OCD. There's a big difference. I did a video about pain, how you can be free from pain, but not pain free, right? You can be free from OCD, which means it doesn't rule your life anymore, which means you don't have to talk out loud to it. You don't have to remind yourself of your values. You can disarm it by changing your beliefs and developing unconditional acceptance. All right. So I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.